Hey, my name is LaTorya Walker. I'm a graduate of the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. I attended Clark Atlanta from 2010 into 2014. My time there, I studied business. So my degree was business administration with a concentration in management. And I had the opportunity of connecting with Dr. Brown while I was at Clark Atlanta, and he provided the exposure to study abroad, what the experience entailed, different opportunities that were available. And as a result, I was able to study abroad in Paris, France. I went through KEI, the program there. At the time, I was not fluent in French. I would say my proficiency was like elementary based off the classes that I took at Clark Atlanta University, but they definitely served me well while studying abroad. My school in Paris, France was the American Business School. And I took marketing, business management, finance, and accounting in Paris, France. And I had roommates there, so I didn't actually stay in a host family. I stayed with two other individuals who traveled from Minnesota and California, and those are still my best friends today. A little bit about my experience there. It was the first time I ever got on a plane at all. So the first time I ever boarded a plane, I went to Paris, France. It was the first time I had traveled that far, of course. And the experience is just one that has changed my life. Like it changed the opportunities that were available, the people that I was able to network with. It changed the way that I viewed the world, the exposure. A lot of times you don't know what you don't know. So being exposed to these different realms, different parts of the world, different cultural exchanges, different languages, how people operate, it's totally different, but it was definitely life-changing. Through my study abroad experience, of course, I gained two best friends. I got the opportunity to travel. And then all of those experiences led over to like where I am right now. As far as places where I was able to travel, we had a school trip to Germany. So I went to Germany. I went to the south of France. I went to Marseille. I got a chance to go to London, to Amsterdam. I went to Italy, so many places I'm forgetting right now, but it has allowed me to continue traveling. So I've traveled to almost 30 countries now. I'll tell you about one of the stories when I studied abroad. I was in Germany. We went with the school on a weekend trip and we were exploring Germany. And at this time, like I think I explored off, I went off, but I got lost. We were staying at a hostel and it was the same hostel. It was like 14 of them in Berlin, Germany. And again, I spoke elementary French, but it allowed me to be able to, get back with my group because I was speaking with someone. And I remember the woman that I was speaking with, she was like, I speak Spanish, French, all of these languages, but English was not one of them. So I'm in the country by myself trying to find my way back. I don't have my phone. So I had to, be able to converse a little bit to be able to get back to my group. So the French that I knew came into place and was super helpful. And I really feel like being exposed to a language or being bilingual, it's a need. It's a definite need that will position you well in your studies, in your career, and in life in general to be able to connect with people and have those cultural exchanges. So when I think of the impact that study abroad has had on my life, I think about the impact that it's had on my family and then as well as my career. So before studying abroad, like I'm originally from Auburn, Alabama. My family had only traveled to Georgia before, and then we went to Panama, Florida, and that was it. We didn't do boats, we didn't do planes, none of the above. So when I came back home and I told my mom and my dad, like, hey, I'm going to go to Paris or I'm looking to go to Paris, it was like they were not taking me serious. And then we kept getting closer to the date, ended up going, and they were worried the entire time. But it was, again, a life-changing experience. And as a result of that, like my parents both have flew My nieces and my nephews have flew, like they travel outside of the country. So it just changed the way that we view the world in general. Sometimes it takes one person kind of stepping out of their comfort zone to encourage others to kind of do the same, or to at least explore those different realms. In addition to that, as far as my career, currently I am working at Meta. I'm on the operations, recruiting, and diversity team. And in my role, different parts of my role serves an international component. So I'll go first to my interview process. A part of my interview process was talking about one of the values of the company, and I chose being bold. And I kind of talked about my study abroad experience, and that consumed the rest of the interview process. So we talked about my study abroad experience and kind of some of the things that, I went through, or navigating the unknown, and how, I interact with people, and all of that play a crucial role in how you interact with board members, your stakeholders, work cross-functionally with different team members, whether they're located in the US or internationally. On my last project that I was working on, I had team members who were based in France, and some of them were based in London. So the ability to be able to communicate effectively with coworkers and colleagues across borders is essential. And the study abroad process, or that experience in general, definitely plays a huge role in your success or your ability to navigate the corporate world, because you can have board members who will be having a conversation, and they'll talk about a vacation that they have upcoming in this location. And I can easily, position myself in that conversation and provide recommendations to places where they should go, or something that they could see. And without my study abroad experience, it's not something that I could have done as so easily. So it's super, super important. Where I am now is kind of combining my corporate job with my passion. My passion is studying abroad. My passion is education, working with students in the community. I've developed now a study abroad program. It's a nonprofit. It's based around studying abroad. It's called Intercultural Youth, ISA Abroad for short. And we provide students the opportunity to study abroad, to visit college, to have college visits, to do company visits. And the idea is that we will educate them with the opportunities that are available. We will empower them, and then we'll have that exposure piece where they get the opportunity to travel and participate in different excursions and cultural exchanges, whether domestically or internationally. So again, the opportunity to study abroad can impact your personal life first, and then your career opportunities that become present, because when you're studying abroad, you're navigating different cultures, you're networking. And a lot of the people that I, met when I did study abroad, I'm still in contact with them. And it led to my interview process at Meta right now, formerly Facebook. So as far as what I'm working on now, and then what my hopes are for future students who are considering studying abroad or would like to study abroad, I'm going to share a little bit about that. Currently, again, I'm working at Meta in the recruiting, diversity, and operations space. Some of the work that I'm doing outside of Meta, but that is apparent and present because of my opportunities to study abroad, is I'm connecting with corporate colleagues who are at other companies. So Google, Adobe, Microsoft, for some of the companies to name. But there's a Tech Connect Africa nonprofit. Their members are based in different locations, but work at corporate companies. So this December, there's a Tech Connect Africa conference networking dinner. And the mission of Tech Connect is to connect global African diaspora through tech education, tech innovation, and tech community building in organic structure settings. So I'm working with them, and I'll be attending different events in Nairobi, Kenya, and Lagos, Nigeria, and then also in Ghana. And my hope there is that while I'm in those different locations, I'll be able to develop networks and connections to help aid my nonprofit that I have, Intercultural Youth, to have connections when our students go back in December. Right now, we're in our pilot year, so we're working with a group of students who are based in Oakland, California, in Houston, and as well as in Atlanta and Alabama. And the thought is that they'll be a part of how we will develop our rollout in 2023, 2024 for our students there. So we're making changes as we go. We went on our first trip again in July. We are trying to navigate the space of having athletes, students that are working in different areas. So we're taking that into account. We have students who are playing different sports, so they can't travel certain dates in December. And what we have done to kind of work around that is we've been partnering with a local organization who it's a basketball camp essentially, and they help train and improve student skills. So we're looking at what it looks like to partner with them and allow them to travel abroad with us and potentially connect with a basketball team that's overseas. So it's been incorporated in every way possible that you could think of. My hopes for future students who will study abroad is that you take advantage of the opportunity early on, looking at different options available to you, even as early as your freshman year, whether it is a summer trip, so it's a little bit shorter, and then after that, partaking in longer trips for a semester or even year long. And then in addition to that, and this is a work in process, fingers crossed that it happens, we'll be able to connect with the school, the nonprofit IC Abroad, and allow students from Clark Atlanta University to travel abroad for different trips that we have for free, so completely covered with our nonprofit, but that provides that exposure that gives you the experience, and then you take it a step further on your own and partake in one of the study abroad programs that are available at Clark Atlanta University, and then also take advantage of the foreign language classes that are available at Clark Atlanta, because if you can go there and you can be fluent, your experience will be totally different. So again, looking to connect in the future and hoping that each of the students or more students partake in the opportunity to study abroad at Clark Atlanta University.